Eh, no todos somos así, pero le han robado, por mediación de la religión, le han robado los astrales y las cosas muy buenas que traen ellos, que trae cada persona. Y entonces se inician sabiendo que tienen un astral muy bonito, muy astral, y se le pierden, como decimos nosotros, a los 2 minutos. A los 2 días se le pierde y no hay nada para ellos. Todo se le vuelve para atrás, para atrás y para atrás. Y se vuelve una basura. No prosperan en nada, ni espiritual, ni material, nada. Y lo mismo, y la misma espiritualidad que podamos tener cualquiera de nosotros, que nos pueda desarrollar, nos pueda dar una luz para seguir, se apaga. O se apaga por momentos. Luce en un momento y a las 24 horas, como decimos, se apaga y es para atrás y para atrás y para atrás. Es decir, que les roban toda la espiritualidad. Eso es lo que están haciendo ahora. Pero los paleros y nosotros los religiosos que somos viejos, que hemos aprendido de nuestros astrales, de nuestras cosas que vienen de atrás, nuestros ancestros, le hacemos bien, esa gente banca progresa, no estafamos, no hacemos un mercado con eso. Cuando una cosa te cuesta $1, te están pidiendo 100, 1000, 200 pesos por hacer una cosa que cuesta, antiguamente costaban 10 kilos. Por ejemplo, hacer santo, en tiempos atrás, y antigana, como decimos nosotros, eso te costaba, no sé, 5 pesos, 10 pesos. Comprar un animal para hacer toda la ceremonia no te costaban tanto. No te costaban tanto. O sea, ir para ser santo en un momento de atrás, o hacer una evolución para crear, o sea, para mejorar esa persona, no llegaban a 50 pesos. Entre animales, las cosas que van a buscar, no llegaban a 50 pesos. Y todos salíamos muy satisfechos. Yo no vivo de eso. Yo no vivo de la exploración de las profesiones. Como yo, hay miles de paleros, miles de santeros, miles de gente que somos religiosas, espirituales, espiritistas, que no vivimos de eso. Vivimos de lo que nos da la espiritualidad para avanzar, porque eso no es salud, no es fuerza, que no es por ganar a nadie. Hoy día, la religión se ha vuelto un comercio. Un comercio para todos. Entonces, se ha vuelto un comercio, y cuando tú vas a hacer las cosas no se te dan. No se te dan porque van en contra de lo que tú estás diciendo. No se te dan, se te estancan ahí, y va mal, y va mal, y va mal, y va mal, que no progresa. No progresan en nada. Yo llamo la atención y alerto a todos nosotros que somos religiosos, que somos santeros, paleros, espiritistas, paleros incluso, que somos una entidad que estamos más mirados porque nosotros dicen que matamos, no hacemos bien, que hacemos mal. ¿Me entiendes? Y entonces, hay que darle una oportunidad de darle esas cosas, ese regreso a esas entidades que vienen con el bien, y vienen sin molestar, sin robarle a nadie, que vienen a hacer el bien, darle la oportunidad. ¿Vale 5 pesos? Vale 5 pesos. ¿Vale 10 pesos aquello? Vale 10 pesos. Pero como todo está tan malo en este mundo en que estamos viviendo, y estamos progresando en un mundo de hipocresía, de mentira. Porque eso es mentira lo que dice mucha gente ahí, porque hasta ahora, hasta hoy en día, están hablando más de los babalados. Hablan más de los babalados, que van a hablar de los paleros que trabajan con el muerto directo. En definitiva, todos somos muerteros, el babalado, el espiritista. Sin muerto no hay nada. No hay espiritismo, no hay santo, no hay babalao, no hay nada. A pesar que el babalao no tiene que llegar a ninguna de estas entidades, ¿no? El babalao no, el babalao en tiempo andilano, como dice, no tenía que ser ni palero, ni santero, nada. El babalao adivino, natural de nacimiento. No tenía que llegar, tener que pasar por todo este campo, el palero, el primo, nada, porque todo lo tenía en la mano. Babalao se conocía muy poco, y los babalaos que estaban ahí y que llegaban a ser babalaos no tenían que realizar nada de este tipo de trascendencia. Hoy día es que se ve eso, no hay necesidad de eso.
So he's saying that for many years, paleros, santeros, babalaos, people, religious people have been turning the religion more commercial. That's what he's saying. So years ago, to be initiated in Palo, Osha, or Ifa was cheap, because was a way to save.
It was cheap, yeah.
Because it was a way to save people, It was not commercialized. But nowadays it's like that. Many people have to make money instead to save people. That's the idea. So that's what he's saying. If your idea is to make money, you are not going to save a person. So the astrality, the spirituality of a person, is not going to be the one that is supposed to be if you do wrong initiations, if you do wrong ceremonies. That's what he's saying, And some people say, well, when I was initiated in Palo, or I did a ceremony in Palo, I started to go back, instead to advance and going back, And it's not because of the palero, It happens in Palo, it happens in Osha, and it happens in Ifa.
I agree.
Because if you don't know what you are doing, you are changing the destiny of a person. That's what he's saying.
Ooh, baby,
so it's not
that's a whole word.
Yeah, it's not that the palero is stealing.
If you don't know what you're doing, you're not really stealing someone's destiny. You kind of messing up somebody's destiny because you're not doing the correct ceremony.
That's it. Yeah, but as paleros have the ability, or I don't know, as we were with the people, of that person, everybody said that the paleros are the ones that do that, but it happens in Palo, it happens in Osha, and it happens in Ifa. If you don't know what you are doing, you are going to change the destiny of a person. You are going to change the destiny of the people.
Change for negative, not positive.
For negative,
not positive.
It's not going. I mean, you come here to save. You come here for good. So if I don't do the right things, I'm going to change your life, but it's not going to be in the good way.
Yeah.
So that's what he's saying. For many years, for many years, as he said, this has turned more commercial than religious. So nowadays, people say that you have to be initiated in Palo, then you have to be initiated in Osha, and then you have to be initiated in Ifa. Many years ago, when the elders started to practice this religion, if you were a palero, you haven't to be initiated in Osha, you haven't to be initiated in Ifa. If you were initiated in Osha, you didn't have to be initiated in Palo, and you didn't have to be initiated in Ifa. Just depends on your destiny, your spirituality. But nowadays, many people say, well, to be initiated in Osha, you have to go first to be initiated in Palo.
So that's what we're gonna get onto my destiny, because my destiny is different.
Yeah, but I mean, you have a choice.
Yeah.
You decided about it, you know. But nowadays, for all many people, is not like that. So, for me, talking about me, not what he said. You know, for me, I was raised in a religious family. You know, but I decided to be initiated,
Yeah, it's
and
true.
I was my first initiation was in Awakwa, no, a religion.
And how old were you?
I'm 30.
No, how old were you when you initiated to our
I was 18, and 12 years ago I was initiated in Awakwa. But I decided to be initiated in Awakwa. You know, nobody said, well, you have to be initiated in Awakwa, and then you have to be initiated in Palo, and then the rest of the religion. You know, for me it was like that. Even being raised in a religious family. How to say it? I was the first in my family by my father's side. I was the first to be initiated in Awakwa. Nobody was initiated in Awakwa. Nobody
Wow.
told me where you have to be initiated in Awakwa. So my spirits lead me to be initiated in Awakwa.
Yeah.
Then I was initiated in Palo, but wasn't because of my father or my brother or my mother said where you have to be initiated. No, it was my destiny. So I decided to be initiated in Palo. I did OSHA when I decided to do OSHA,
I
but
remember.
not me. You know, my spirits, my rituals. You know, all they lead me to be initiated. So nobody imposed that on me, that thought, that idea. No, I decided to be initiated because of my spirituality, my astrality. You know, they lead me to be initiated. But it's a reality that nowadays, you know, many people for example, they go to do an initiation in OSHA, you know, and they go for a godfather. The godfather is initiated in OSHA and in Palo, and the godfather say, well, you are going to be initiated in OSHA, but you have to be initiated in Palo first, you know. So I'm going to initiate you in Palo, so I'm going to make money with you. And you came for an OSHA initiation, not for Palo initiation.
Exactly.
You know,
they are
and
mandatory.
And they say,
but
well,
it's not mandatory. But they're making
and,
people do
and
that.
they say, well, before to be initiated in OSHA, you have to be initiated in Palo, and that's wrong. You have to be initiated in Palo.
Because there's a lot of people initiated in Palo that's not even initiated on OCHA here,
That's
and
it.
vice versa.
So, I mean, there are many people that have to be initiated in Palo and then have to be like me, you know. But was because my spirits guide me to that.
But you initiate into Santo many years later.
Yeah,
many years later.
Yeah, I mean, I was initiated in Awakwa 12 years ago, and in Palo like 9 or 10 years ago, and OSHA just 1 year ago, you know. So it wasn't like well, you have to you have to. I wanted to be initiated in OSHA, and they said, well, go first to Awakwa, and then go to the Palo, and then go to OSHA, and then do it fast.
It wasn't a protocol situation.
You know? So that's what he's saying. Many people are commercializing the religion, you know. And if your godfather have the other initiation, you know, and if he wants to commercialize the religion, he's going to say, well, before OSHA you have to be initiated in Palo. And if your godfather is a Babalawo, I say, well, Palo, OSHA, and then Ifa, you know.
Yeah.
And I'm going, and all that money, you know, for all those initiations is going to come to me.
Yeah.
You know, that's the idea. You know, the wrong idea about religion.
crazy.
You know, they are commercializing. So
Yeah, it's
that's what
crazy.
he's saying, and it's my thought about it. That.
All right. Okay, so my story looked different. I am initiated to several Orisha in Oya in America, Oshun and Egbe and Ifa in Nigeria, and Oyo and Oshogbo. And my latest initiation is in Palo Monte in this past January. So my story looks different because usually Palo is not connected to the Yoruba tradition. Esin Orisha Ibile Sheshe in Yoruba. It is Congo. And I do have Congo and by Congo and Bantu in my bloodline. Okay, I've had my DNA done. It is in my bloodline. So I've never been interested in Palo. Never been interested in Palo. And so I've heard until. Okay, so I've had always heard of negative things in the past, but in 2019, I found myself here and I did an Airbnb experience in which I took a tour. And part of that tour was going into the arts district, in which it was one of the famous, it was, what is that, like one of the famous paleros that's down there. And I was like, what is this about? What was this Palo thing about? And I got to, really thinking, and I was like, what is, so I did some research, and still it's not a lot of positive information out there. So I still reserve myself from it. So 2019 went, Rona and myself, we became friends. We conversed online. He was interested in how we do it in Nigeria. I was interested in deeper understanding in Santeria and even Apollo, because he was a Palero. And so he was my tour guide then in 2019. So we became friends over the years. I said, I'm coming back. Then COVID hit. Then get back right away. Went back in 2022, took some friends, and we were part of some Palo ceremonies out here. And I still was looking sideways like, this is really interesting. So between 2022 and 2023, I started having dreams, like some really aggressive dreams. Actually, the dreams started back years before that, but those dreams started coming back between 2020 and 2022. So I sent him a message about the dreams, and he said, "Oh my God, that's my shrine. That's my shrines." And I was offering a rooster to one of the pots, and he said only initiated people can do that. And I was like, wow, there's something to it. So I checked into it.
I also remember one of your dreams. You said, well, I saw you and your father, and you were calling me Yaya. You didn't know about what Yaya was.
I didn't know what Yaya meant.
Yaya are the female, the women that are initiated.
Yeah, I found out.
So
that
the men are tatas and women are Yayas.
Yeah. So it came to that, and I was like, oh well, let me divine on this. So I got to divining on that through my Ifa, and Ifa was like, yeah, this a go, and I was like, no, And I still was real resistant to that until the dreams started coming more aggressive. And then my son started having dreams about me and him and all of that. And I was like, yo, this is getting really real. So I had him do some divination about it. I think you went to your shrines, and he was like, yeah. And Ganga's like, yo, come on. I'm trying to keep this short, y'all. So I decided, and it was several divinations done, because I didn't say, oh, let me jump into this. This is nothing that I decided to jump into. It was definitely for my bloodline. It was for my own destiny, for my protection, for my family line, not necessarily to do work for other people and be not now, let's say that, but to get an understanding of it and to protect me and my children. It was really, really, really important to me. And so because some things was going on, and it was necessary for me to do that at that time. So I know from the understanding is that in Santeria, when you go for Ocha, usually you do Palo first, and then you initiate to Orisha, and then Ifa, right? And so for me, my destiny is definitely different. My story was different because I initiated to Palo after getting Idosu on my head and Ifa. So, I know that many may look sideways like, how the hell did she do it reverse and backwards? First of all, my destiny is different. It's not going to look like anybody else's. Everybody's destiny is different, and my blueprint is way different. What's for me is for me. What's for him is for him. Vice versa. And so I'm glad I made that decision. It was it wasn't an easy decision to make, because I was very resistant on that. And so with in these past few months, I've been learning a lot about the spirits that walk with me, my ancestors, and I've been having more vibrant visions and hearing them more and seeing them more, and it's leading me in better directions. And they've been protecting me because I've acknowledged them. When you go to acknowledge your ancestors that have been, they're hanging on the side waiting for you to put them to work. And so now that I have acknowledged them, they're working more efficiently for me while I'm here on earth. You understand what I'm saying? So
and that's the difference between a people that has in a person that have in the destiny to be initiated in Palo, and another person that have not on his destiny to be initiated.
Yeah.
So if you don't have that on your destiny to be initiated in Palo, and you are initiated in Palo, obviously your destiny is going to change.
Yeah.
So some people say, well, I was initiated in Palo and the all turned upside down.
Yeah.
But that's why, because you are not
that one part of your destiny.
On your destiny. You did it because somebody told you are wrong information.
Yeah.
Or somebody want your money.
Want your money, trying for it. Come on,
like
let's go. Let's do it with me. Do it with me.
That's the difference, Because I mean, if everybody says that Palo is bad, Palo is evil, what I'm doing here, what you are doing here, what they are doing here, If Palo is evil, Palo is bad, what am we doing here?
Correct. Yeah. Yeah.
If it's in your destiny, it's going to be good for you.
Yeah.
If it's not in your destiny, it's not going to be good. But it's not just Palo. Ocha, Ifa,
any of it.
Christianity, Catholicism,
Buddhism, all of it.
If it's not on your destiny, it's not going to be good for you.
It's not going to work. You can, no matter how you force it, no matter how the protocol to those different traditions, if it is not for you, if it's not part of your destiny, it's not part of your ori, it's not going to work properly. It's not. Some people have this it just keep coming across as different struggle ever since in doing certain initiations, and if it's not part of your destiny, I agree, it's not going to go as smoothly as you thought it would be. So I'm glad I made this decision. I don't announce it. This is my first time publicly really announcing that I did this, but it's for me. It's for me and mine.
But feel proud to.
I am
feel
proud
to say I
am. Palo Monte. Salam alaikum. Salam alaikum. I am proud.
I'm Tata Nganga. I'm not. I don't feel bad about it. I tell to the four winds. I tell the four winds I am Palero. And everybody that wants I practice. I am Aqua, I am Palero, I am Santero, so I'm proud of that, because I did my initiations and my life was better when I did my initiation.
It's true. It's true.
My life is better now than many years ago. So I have a guide. I have a guide from Palo, my spirits, my Ngangas. I have a guide from my Orishas, So that's the idea, to have something higher than you, guiding you in the right way.
Yeah.
That's the idea.
Yeah, I say. So, I want to wrap this up to say thanks to my newly Palo, you ain't new, but my new Palo family for accepting me, for being patient with the language barrier and all of that, and being patient with me asking a lot of...
Piquito español.
I do say that. Un piquito español all the time. Take your time, because Cubans talk fast. They talk very fast. But I want to say thank you for taking your time, Papa. Muchas gracias, Papa. Muchas gracias, hombre. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. That was them. For being part of this, because what we're going to do is we are going to debunk myths. Okay, that is my mission. And another part of my mission is to bridge gaps within Africa and the diaspora and Afro-Cuban religions, and my family in Cuba is part of that bridge. Anything in the diaspora, I have family in Trinidad. That's bridging the gaps in the American diaspora and in the African diaspora. We got to come together to help one another. If nobody is going to save us, we must save ourselves. So I thank you so much for this. Peace.
Salam alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam.